Yes, the Detroit Lions are just a month out from the season opener, and they still need a pass rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Until Marcus Davenport becomes that person, we are still going to need that person. And even if Marcus can give us a few games, more than 7, we could always use more D-line depth, because we saw what happened to us last year, and our D-line probably took the biggest hit when it came to injuries as the season progressed. But Zadarius Smith has literally been, check this out, we cut Zadarius back in March, April, May, June, July, and now the first week in August. It has been almost 5 full months, and we've been steady having this conversation. Now, there's been some speculation as to why Zadarius Smith is not yet returned to the Detroit Lions. There is a couple of things. I would love to be a fly on the wall and find out what the true reason is. I have a good idea based on the things that I've been told and just being a man that of what this could possibly be. Detroit is a place that Zadarius Smith came to love, and he only spent half a season here. We did not get to see Hutch and Smith on the field together, and we would get a chance to see that. Smith, Davenport, Hutch, Smith, Davenport, Hutch, right? We got all these different combinations, but with the hit to Josh Pascal, with the hit to Levi, with the hit already on our defense period, we could still use a guy like Zadarius Smith. I wouldn't mind if we brought in Smith and Judon to keep it a buck. I mean, if we can get Judon for 2 years, because check this out. Smith, who's not on the team, but you would assume he would sign a 1-year deal. Marcus Davenport, Josh Pascal, Levi are all not under contract next year. If you were to bring in a guy like Judon, sign him for 2 years or 1 year, doesn't matter. So we're going to have to do something next year. We lose potentially 3 defensive linemen next year, and one is a hybrid, one is a pure edge, and one is a DT. So that's going to be interesting. But Brad Holmes, in what will soon be one of his dwindling appearances, man, 97-1. We know once the season kicks off, I believe he has like a season. He does one last press conference before the season starts. And as we wait on that, his press conferences are going to start dwindling down until he disappears during the season. Then we'll see him during something traumatic or the trade deadline. And then after that, in February, right? Hopefully we are walking down Woodward Avenue with a Lombardi trophy. But he was asked about Zadarius Smith today on 97.1 The Ticket, and here's what he had to say. This is coming from their YouTube channel. This happened earlier today at training camp. Now, the first thing I'm going to say to 97.1 The Ticket is, what is up with this image, bro? Let me make sure it's in the best quality possible. How you going to be a radio station and my setup look better than yours? Okay, this is 720. The highest is 720. What is this about? How you gonna be? Look, this thing behind you costs a couple $1,000s probably, or at least a rack. Come on, bro. And you sponsored by, what is this? A law firm? Come on, bro. We can't get a better setup than this. This is a tragedy. It ain't no way that my setup should look better than yours. I don't even care they outside. You can have great lighting outside. This is a tragedy. Let's hear what he had to say.
Player, and I don't know to say it's exactly the same because the games haven't kicked off yet, but what he's shown in practice, I mean, the change of direction, the explosiveness, I mean, he's not having any effects, but I'm not surprised on a guy like him that has this kind of mindset. But it's very important, and hopefully soon we'll get some dialogue going.
Talking to Brad Holmes, general manager, Detroit Lions. Last time we had you on, we talked about edge, and we had that exchange about, I don't understand. Zadarius Smith, not an elite edge, right? I know that was a different conversation. Zadarius is still out there. Is there interest on your side?
Yeah, look, Zadarius did a lot of good things last year for us, and we said we're going to keep in contact with his agent. But, it's not – everything's not just one-sided. Zadarius has expectations. The team has expectations. So sometimes it takes a while for those things to get on the same page, especially a guy, that's been in the league as long as he has. I'm sure that, I'm not saying that he doesn't want to be in training camp, but, if he misses sometimes. So, there's obviously still interest there. And, we've been keeping in touch.
How have you?
All right, so what did you hear there? I've been seeing a lot of different takes on Twitter as to what people took from this conversation. Some people took that Zadarius wants to miss training camp. I took a bigger percentage that this is still about the money. It's still about the money. Now, I would love the training camp situation to be what it is, that Zadarius Smith just don't want nothing to do with camp. He just don't want to anything. He's a veteran, been in the league for a minute. It's been what, at least 10 years or almost to it. And he doesn't need training camp. He don't want training camp. And he said that, I'll reach out to you after the preseason, right? Or it could be about money. And it was something that Brad Holmes said at the beginning of that. He said that it takes two parties to come together. And to me, and they have expectations, meaning the team. Zadarius has expectations, and I think that it has to do about money. Because if it was, now he could be very vague as well. We know Brad Holmes is his job to be deception, for theatricality and deception. This is what he does. He's very good at it. But at the same time, they've been keeping in touch, so that's good. He could have said, we haven't spoken to him since, like he said before, like there was no dialogue. But the fact that it's dialogue there is probably the biggest thing that I took away from this, because I don't think it's about training camp necessarily. It could have something to do with it. I think this is more about money. Again, let's go back. You traded for Za'Darius Smith with a year left on his contract. So you inherit that contract. That's correct, right? That's how it works. You inherit the contract if you trade for somebody. Zadarius Smith was then cut. And then without restructuring or trying to figure it out with him, you re-sign Marcus Davenport and Levi Onwuzurike. Levi's done for the year. And I think that might have made things worse as well. Davenport, who hasn't played a full season in his career, is coming off 2 season-ending injuries, has played a total of 6 games in 2 seasons, and you prioritize him cheaper than the guy that came in, led your team in sacks and pressures after you lost the guy that led your team in sacks and pressures. And you skim like you usually do when it comes to a quality player. We're not asking for an elite pass rusher. We're asking for a capable pass rusher. And Marcus Davenport, as of this moment, August the 8th or 6th, 2025, is not a capable pass rusher. He's not. He has to earn that title, which he can do during the season. Right now, a win for Marcus Davenport is 7 games. If he plays 7, he could still miss 10. And that's not even including the playoffs. Durability is his main concern. Zadarius Smith, on the other hand, coming off 2 full seasons, he's older than Marcus Davenport, and he played 2 17-game seasons. And also almost played 18 games. If it was up to him, he would have played during that Houston Texans game after the trade deadline. But Brad gave him a break, gave him a rest. And his contribution to the Detroit Lions was invaluable. Helped us. We could not touch CJ Stroud. And then all of a sudden, we start making him uncomfortable in that pocket. So let me know in the comment section, what did you get from this video? Is it 50-50? Did you get us a training camp thing more? Did you get us about the money more or something else? Or is it even? Or, and what are the odds on a scale from 1 to 10? 10 being Zadarius Smith signs with the Detroit Lions by season kickoff, and 1 being he doesn't sign and he signs somewhere else. What number would you place the odds of returning to Zadarius Smith returning to the Lions between 1 and 10? 10 being the highest, of course, 1 being the lowest. I don't know. Right now, I got to put a 5. I have to put a 5. It seems like they're in touch. And again, it seems like it's more of an equal ground thing. They have to reach an equal ground. I still believe that it's about money. It could also be about length of contract. Because if you think about Zadarius he was traded to the Browns, right? From the Minnesota Vikings. And then he was traded from the Browns to the Lions. And now he doesn't have a team. And a lot of that could be up to him as well. Maybe he wants a 2-year deal. I never thought about that. Speaking of 2-year deal, would you give Zadarius Smith, who's 32 years old, would you give him more than a 1-year deal? Again, if we go back, Josh Pascal is on the last year of his deal, and he's currently hurt. Levi got a 1-year deal. Marcus Davenport got a 1-year deal. Broderick Martin will not be on this team anymore. Even if he somehow makes the team this year, he will not be on the team for next season. So our defensive line might need a massive overhaul. I've been pushing for the edge and all this stuff, and for Brad Holmes to go hard at the D-line like he has gone hard in the secondary. Next year I might finally get my wish, because he's not going to have a choice. He's not going to have a choice. You know how many one-year defensive linemen we have on our squad? A lot. I think Muhammad, if I'm not mistaken, he's still 1 year. Pat O'Connor, the list goes on, man. So let me know your thoughts on the return of Za'Darius Smith. How likely do you think it is? Check out the interview from 97.1. I haven't watched it in its entirety yet, but man, come on, man. Come on, where we at? Where we at here? What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? Was the camera in 720p? I mean, even you can take a webcam that can get more clarity than that. That's actually pretty sad. 97 won the ticket. Detroit's flagship radio station. They got that big old thing behind them. I've looked into one of those. They cost quite a bit of money. And this is the best. This is the best you can do. You're outside. Your lighting should have been great. Anyway, it just grinds my gears, man. It really does. They need to holler at Let's Talk Lions. Get him to do their setup. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Got a special announcement too. I almost forgot. And if you left, shame on you, okay? We got Motor City Cats will be joining the team for Syndicate Sports Detroit. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers over there. And I almost forgot again. Man, oh man, I forgot in my earlier video, but hopefully, and it is gone. It's gone. The Michigan Panthers, man. We got a petition to help save the Panthers, and I don't know why the QR code didn't save. Anyway, take care of yourself and each other, and as always, go Lions. Man,